Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, you are watching another episode of the Raider Rundown. It's your guy, Panama Fargo. And today, man, I thought we could touch on what can the Raiders' floor be. Last video, we touched on the ceiling and all the shit that can go right. Today, we're going to focus on all the shit that may go wrong, hopefully don't go wrong. So let's get into that theme music. Let's get into it.
Young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
What is the deal? Once again, you are watching the Raider Rundown. Make sure you keep tapping on that like and subscribe button, man. You're not gonna want to miss none of the updates I got going on. Make sure you're sharing out the content, and make sure whoever you got that's interested in the Raiders, come check out this channel, man. You're not gonna be disappointed. So without further ado, like I said, man, let's get into what can the Raiders floor be for this upcoming season. All right, now we gotta start with the most important position, that would be the quarterback position, right? And we all know, about Jimmy Garoppolo and his health. Okay, that is going to be the main factor of me talking about this quarterback discussion, because already we're seeing it, right? He's already not practicing. Hopefully he can be back for training camp, but it's looking unlikely. But at the end of the day, he's back for training camp. What if he's not? Okay, what if this injury does linger on into the season? He doesn't have enough time to rehab. He tries to rush back. At the end of the day, man, this whole season and the Raiders being successful is really contingent on Jimmy Garoppolo being as healthy as he can be. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's all it comes down to. If Jimmy Garoppolo is not healthy, now we're looking at a shit show. Okay, now hopefully Aiden O'Connell can come in here and he can show some promise. But who wants to put all that pressure on a 4th round draft pick shoulders, right? Who wants to do it, especially at quarterback, okay? Because you can only do nothing but destroy his confidence coming in. We'd rather him sit. So then what's the next best case scenario if you don't want to expose O'Connell into that? Brian fucking Hoyer. And that's not to say disrespectful, but at the end of the day, he's up there in age, and how much do we expect from that? Exactly. So when you're asking yourself those questions, everything is contingent on Jimmy Garoppolo being healthy. If he's not, it's going to be a long season. Now, you talk about, the running back position right after that. The Raiders are still on this little contract, thing with Josh Jacobs. They're still battling it out. He's still not signed his franchise tag. By the time I release this video, which would be Monday, which is, now, at the end of the day, I don't foresee him signing that franchise tag. So at the end of the day, he's going to be missing some time. All right, he misses some time. How much time is he missing? Could he miss the entirety of the season because he wants to get paid? A possibility is on the table. I say that is probably more unlikely than him just missing training camp and then probably coming week 1. That's probably what's about to happen. But at the end of the day, the worst case scenario, he sits out pretty much the majority of the season or the remainder of the season because he hasn't got any money. And if that's the case, we are now relying on Samir White. We're now relying on Amir Abdullah, Britton Brown, Sincere McCormick. You feel what I'm saying? Like those guys like that who at the end of the day have some ability but are unproven and are not proven to be the running back that Josh Jacobs is currently. Which, we can all be truthful here as Raider fans and say he probably accounts for at least a majority, 65% of the damn offense. Maybe a little lower, but at the end of the day, I say 65% run through Josh Jacobs and the threat of him running the ball. Okay, now, so when you look at that, I have, not a lot to say about the wide receiver positions, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's a position on the offense that's going to ball. You know what I mean? As far as the offensive line, continuity is a must. You got to get the right guy there at right guard. You know what I mean? That's the majority of the thing. But if the offensive line doesn't take another step up and they're, the same as they were last year, which they weren't terrible, but at the end of the day, we need improvement from last year. There were still some areas that can be improved, that need to be improved if the Raiders are going to take another step up. And if the offensive line doesn't do that with the quarterback, with the injury history that he has, okay, now it can get real scary. Now, let's transition to the defense. Okay, now when you talk about the defense, this is the side of the ball that is super, super heavily looked upon as far as needing to upgrade, needing to get better. Which, if this defense doesn't take a step, okay, we might be looking at the same position we're in, okay? Now, the defense needs to take a step in the pressure category. They need to take a step up in the turnover category. You need to start getting your hands on the football, okay? Now, if the D-line and let's say Tyree Wilson and Byron Young, okay, do not perform at the level we hope they can just as rookies, at least giving them some type of juice in there, now we're looking pretty grim on that defensive line because it's real contingent on the young guys. You still got Jerry Tillery, but how much are we expecting there? Max Crosby, we know what kind of guy he is. You're hoping a resurgence from Chandler Jones, but Chandler Jones is only getting older. You know what I mean? We don't know how much juice is left. Hopefully last year is not a tell on his age and how old he's getting. Last year, you know, was just a little blip on what could be a high number sack total for him, right? So we're hoping that we get that interior pressure, but if we don't, you know, then now we're relying upon linebackers that the unit isn't really strong in the first place to make more plays. Okay, especially in the run game, especially in the pass game, because they're going to be covering for so long if the defensive line is not where it needs to be, or at least getting some type of pressure back there. And you guys already know how I feel about the linebacker unit on the defense. Not the strongest unit on the defense, but at the end of the day, man, as much pressure as we can take off that second and third unit as possible, that's what needs to happen. Now, the same way I feel about the receivers on the offensive side is how I feel about the corners on the defensive side. I feel like they're going to ball. But corner is more contingent on now, will the D-line step up once again? So that's really the tell of it all. Now, the floor can be really grim. Let's keep it real. Okay, I said 10-7 for the ceiling, but when you look at all the factors, right? When you look at everything here, it's real contingent on the Raiders gelling and their young players coming out, giving them major production. Now, if that does not happen, I can see the Raiders once again going a measly 6-10, maybe 7-9. Okay, and that's what it'll be. Maybe goddamn, you know, I can see another 6-10 season, another frustrating season if everything, you know, like I just described, does not come to fruition, and you know, the Raiders are trying to trotting through the season, trying to just gain momentum, never really finding it like last year. You know, that could be the story. But I don't think that's gonna happen, and y'all know I like to keep it positive anyway. So I mean, I see the Raiders taking another step up. I see them, at least, I'm not gonna sit here and say Super Bowl. If we do make the Super Bowl, then shit, I'd gladly sit here and celebrate with y'all. But I do see, you know, an improvement with the team, especially from 6 wins, and that's all we're looking for, man. They're like Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels are slowly building this team up, so we're looking for incremental process, incremental progress, right? So that's what we want. So once again, that's the floor. Make sure y'all keep tapping on that like and subscribe button. Share out the content if you can, man. I need to get my watch hours up, so go ahead, man. If y'all will, man, please help me with that. I'm trying to get these watch hours up so your boy can get monetized and we can really get this thing rolling. But without, you know, once again, it's another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all keep tapping on the buttons, and remember, always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.